Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Hit the Pick Founders Show. I'm your host, Scott the Steamroller Steen, and I am joined by three other of the four founders. Loud, once again, is way too busy for us, and he's out there. What's he doing? Teaching cops how to talk to the press.
Yeah.
Terrific. Absolutely terrific. But we've got the real superheroes here today, starting to my left. As you stare at your screen, it is the one, the only Tom Macrina, straight from Philly, the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. You got your world champion hat on there, bud? Is that what that is?
Nah, this is told them we're due.
Is what?
It's told them we're due.
So whiskey, whiskey, right?
Yeah,
a little whiskey, Not a.
Hey, Tom, how was the parade?
I got wasted.
I know the over on people shot cash, so I was happy about that.
They certainly did.
Good Lord. Well, I know you guys don't win a lot, so it's you don't get out there much and stretch your muscles. So that's good. You got a chance. You stayed off the pole. As we talked about last time, always good advice for everybody. Stay off the pole. Let's go down here
on the ground.
Let's go down to the bottom right of the Brady Bunch here, coming all the way from Los Angeles, California. You know him, you love him. He is Sniper West. What's up, Sniper West?
Well, that Los Angeles thing you just talked about, that actually might be Las Vegas here. Actually, probably is going to be. It's like an 80% chance I'm moving to Vegas in the next 10 days permanently. Although I'll come back to LA. I have family out here and a lot of friends out here, so I'll be back and forth. It's only a 4.5 hour drive if you do it right. But yeah, looking forward to bigger and better things. Sometimes, you got to move on to bigger and better things, and I'm looking forward to it. Very excited, and I'll be right in the middle of everything, talking to sportsbook directors, making some moves. Gonna have a really nice condo out there, so you guys ever want to come out and not have to get a room in the book, let me know, and maybe I'll be able to put you up, and we'll go party. We should do like a March Madness get together. Didn't we talk about that?
Yeah, we did. Wes wants you to know that there's no nightly charge, but there is a resort fee to stay at this condo.
Yeah,
it's Vegas. It's the rules. It's got to be done. So, congratulations, bud. So maybe next time we talk to you, or the time after that, you'll be in sunny Las Vegas. Congratulations.
Yeah, we'll see.
Very nice. And now we'll finish up from Houston, Texas. It's the Vegas of the South, if you will. It is the one and only David Delano. What's up, Double D?
Hey, what's going on? Excited to talk. A little bit of a down season for some people, but there's still a lot to talk about. This is the time when you really find out who the real cappers are. So
that's right. And I love this time of year, man. You've seen enough college basketball to get a pretty good read on what they can and can't do. We're finishing up with the conference schedule. Then we're going to start conference tournaments. And then after that, the big dance. Yeah, it's a very exciting time. We just had the All-Star break for the NHL and the NBA. And we've got pitchers and catchers reporting soon, within the next week, 10 days, right, guys?
No, I think they already reported. We're just waiting for the rest.
Yeah, we have I think we have a spring training game tomorrow.
No, I need to get out more. Very good. All right, so there you go. So we're gonna start doing some baseball breakdowns. We're gonna do one division per day, and we're gonna start with the AL East. So you guys make sure you stay tuned for that. Get excited. We're all going to weigh in as far as some futures go and who we think is going to be taking care of business there and who's going to be slacking off in the AL East. But we want to remind you guys, of course, head over there to hitthepick.com. Pick up your free $100 welcome bonus in hitthepick.com cash. You can use that to get yourself premium plays from any of the four guys here, or from the hardest working man in no business. It is Loud Esmond as well. So you can grab his plays as something you might want to take advantage of. I don't know. Has he been hot lately? I know he's been kicking butt in the MASL.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's about all he handicaps right now, I think, at this point. But so I hope he is.
Well, we would certainly call that a handicap at this point. All right. So Tom, what do you got? What do you got cooked up for this week? What are you looking at?
Yeah. So you want to start baseball, or I could go any direction.
We can do that, but before you do that, I want to make sure that you and I put in our plug. We will be starting our NASCAR show this Friday. We were going to start it last Friday, but Tom had to go to the parade, so we couldn't do that. You wouldn't want to do a show before Daytona 500 or one of those other small races. So we're going to be doing it at 6:30 p.m. No, 5:30.
Yeah, I guess it's 6.
Eastern time. And Tom and I will be breaking down this week's race in Atlanta. So make sure you're a NASCAR fan, or if you just like making money, this dude's pretty good. I don't know shit about NASCAR, but I will be facilitating the conversation between Tom and a rotating bevy of experts that we'll be having on. So make sure you check that out as well. Let's you know what? Let's start with just real quick anything that you're looking at basketball wise for this week or hockey wise, and then we'll go real quick roundtable. And then we'll talk some baseball. Finish it up.
Yeah, so I'm not really messing with the game tomorrow night, the Four Nations Cup. I kind of dig the under. This is a revenge game. But other than that, we cashed our over 5.5 points for USA on that one. NBA's starting up. They're starting up tonight. I actually have I have a prop if you want me to give that out. Here, let me pull it up real quick.
Sure, and I got my best bet of the day on tonight's NBA game. So, what do you got prop wise?
Yeah, so I have
Bronny over under
Hachimura. I have him over 4.5 rebounds.
Okay.
I just think he's going to get a lot of playing time here. I guess LeBron's trying to play, but he's been getting more playing time, and he averages 5.5 rebounds per game. I think he's going to go over this 4.5. I don't know what the price is now, but it was like plus 105 this morning.
Okay. All right. Very good. Little Hachimura on over rebounds, over 4.5 rebounds. Very good. Wes, what do you got? What do you got sneaking up on you for this week?
Well, yeah, it's funny. I think I heard you mention Bronny's over under. Bronny's over under is probably like a quarter point tonight, I would imagine. That's even if he's playing. I don't even know if he's out there. He might be back in the G League. Dave might know. I know Dave follows the NBA kind of closely like I do. But I do like the Lakers tonight, actually. So obviously the Hornets, they're just a terrible basketball team. By the way, Dave, did you hear anything? This may be fake news, but I heard that LeVar Ball, LeVar's the dad, right? Did he get
he's talking about his foot.
Yeah, did he get his leg amputated or his foot or whatever? Is that true?
I saw that about 2 hours ago. I'm not sure how legit it is. Yeah. I can see it happening, but then I think what actually made me wonder how legit it was that I saw a photo of him with the biggest smile that almost looked like it was AI. So I'm not sure if it's legit or not with this stuff. So that's kind of tough to get in. I don't know if he did. I don't know. I know like everyone's posting for content, but if he did, I mean, posting AI photos of the guy, I doubt his smile would have been that big if you saw the. I don't know. It's just a topic I'm not going to get too much further into, but I did hear about that.
He's so somebody put their best foot forward with that post, I guess.
You knew it was coming. Anyway, you knew it was coming somewhere.
Well, the Hornets are terrible. They're 13-39. It's the only NBA game on the slate tonight, but thank God NBA is back. I mean, I love college basketball. Don't get me wrong, but I've just been on a tear in the NBA this year, so it's always good when there's NBA games, and when there's not, it kind of makes me sad. But the Lakers lost their last game right before the All-Star break. They played the Jazz, and they lost 131-119. So I think they're going to be focused here, obviously, with the Luka mojo now and everything. Before that loss to Utah, though, even before the Lakers got Luka, they were playing very well. They covered 6 straight games. They won every single one of those games, so they had a lot of good vibes going around, a lot of good juju. I think they're going to come out with a bang. It's a lot of points to lay. I think it's 12 the last I looked, but I do like the Lakers tonight. I think they play well, and I'll lay it with the Lakers tonight. I do like the USA tomorrow in hockey. Obviously, we've just lost to Sweden, but I don't think we really cared about that game, to be honest with you, because we were already going to be in the final. So I don't think that they put their best skate forward. And, we all knew they were going to be in the championship game with Canada. Remember, we did beat Canada 3-1 back on the 15th. So we already, one up them. I kind of do like the under, just like Tom was talking about. I like the under in this game too, but I'm going to go with USA. I'll just give that out for the video here. I think it's -110, -120. So it's, it's a pretty even bet, and I think USA is going to. I don't know if you call it skating the cup, or do they even get a cup? What?
Yeah, they get one. They get a cup, but there's no name for it, so I guess it's just the Four Nations.
The Four Nations Championship. So I do like USA. In regards to college basketball tomorrow, I have a couple premiums tonight, but I'm taking a look at Ohio State over Northwestern tomorrow. You got to lay about 11 as it sits currently, I believe. But Northwestern has won the last 2 contests head-to-head, so the Buckeyes do have revenge. Ohio State, they do cover games. They're 15-11 at ATS this year, and the Wildcats cannot win on the road. They're 0-8 on the road, so they can't play well away from their building. And I know it's a lot of points. It's 11 points, so it's a little bit scary. But the Buckeyes do come off that loss to Michigan. They lost 86-83 to their arch rival to the north. So I think they're going to bounce back. I think they play well here. I'm going to lay the 11 more than likely. That might even be a premium play tomorrow. Ohio State minus 11 over Northwestern.
There you go. Anybody have a bet on the MSL CONCACAF Cup game tonight between Kansas City and Miami with Messi? It's going to be the coldest game in MSL history, by the way.
Wow.
It's going to be
sounds like an under to me.
Going to be 4 degrees at game time, minus 2 degrees by the end of the game, and the wind will be about 10 miles an hour out of the north. Absolutely brutal. I want to see if they're wearing. Surely they're not going to wear shorts, right? Got to have.
Yeah, of course they will.
Well, but will they be over leggings or?
Nah, they'll be fine.
Supposedly Messi's going to play. I'll believe it when I see it. When he walks off that bus and sees the temperatures, like, you know what? I think I'm going to sit this one out.
There's going to be visions of the old Cincinnati Bengals when they played the Chargers in the coldest NFL game ever. Remember?
Yep, absolutely.
Came out in the San Diego did not want to be there that day.
No. It's a lot like today. Like they played this year when they went to Houston. They just didn't really want to be there either. All right. Hey, speaking of Houston, look at that. What a master. Wrapping it up with David Delano. Dave, what do you got cooked up for this week?
Well, I'm not starting off the second half of the NBA season researching Bronny James, whether or not he's going to be available if I want to bet on that over or under a quarter point. So don't have any idea what his status is tonight. I'm sure he's available if they're up by 30, but
how could he be injured? Does he have a thumb injury from the game controller? That's the only possible injury he could have. He's got to be available,
I'm sure he'll be there, but I don't want anything to do with that NBA game tonight. College basketball, we don't know the lines for the weekend, but I'll kind of get into some hockey here. Four Nations tournament. I'm not going to make a play on that one. I would love to see the U.S. win. Minus 110 on each side. I kind of feel like if these teams play 10 times, they go 5-5. So U.S. already got one. I know it was 3-1, but the thing with NHL, I mean, it was a close competitive game. I mean, U.S. got that empty netter with about 80 seconds left. So if you could get some plus money on Canada, I would. If I wasn't a true-blooded American, I would say that would probably be the play. But minus 110, I don't really see a lot of value in that one. But looking at the NHL for Saturday, already got some lines up. A little bit of juice, but coming out of the All-Star break, all teams pretty much equally rested. I like the Capitals. I mean, minus 150 against the Penguins. Washington's been the most profitable team in the NHL so far. When you look at how they've been winning, even on the road, minus 150 is not a bad price for a Penguins team that's been towards the bottom of the NHL. And the Avalanche also a minus 135 on the road. I said, coming off the break, I don't think that's going to matter too much. And the thing with that, even with that minus 135 price, they're playing a Nashville Predators team that has been by far the worst team to back in the NHL so far this season. A lot of times these Nashville lines have not looked correct. They're usually not that big of an underdog, and there's been a lot of spots even when they're favored and it doesn't look right. And you can say it's been a trap, but most of the time it hasn't been a trap, because if you've bet against Nashville every game this season, you've been doing fantastic. So I'm not going to overthink it. So I like Colorado, Avalanche, and the Capitals on Saturday in the NHL.
Very good. I had a buddy of mine ask me, since they booed the U.S. national anthem in Canada, says, is the finals going to be in the U.S. or in Canada? I said, neither one. It's going to be in Boston. So sorry, all you massholes. I apologize in advance for any Bostonians out there. So. It's a different place. If you've ever been to Boston, man, it is an absolutely different place. Good place to get lost because all the streets go in circles. Dumbest layout I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, I digress. Man, you've got it. We really covered it here. We got a little hockey action. We got a little NBA action, some college basketball. I'll tell you what I've got for free play for tonight. I've got the Mizzou Alabama over. 169 is the last number I saw on that, and that's a situation where this is a tied team that is number one in the country in tempo. They flat get up and down the court, and they play defense like a team that is anxious to go back and play offense. They don't really care. They're just planning on outscoring everyone. It's a high total, but 8 of their 12 conference games have exceeded that 169 total. So I think they can get there against a Mizzou team that has 3 guards that shoot better than 39% from downtown. So that should be a fun game. If the weather wasn't quite so bad, I might go see that game. That would be a lot of fun to go. But I'm not. I got to go. I got to go to the soccer game and sit out there in the 4-degree temperatures. Said no, whatever. They did a little story on it at noon on the news, and they said tickets still available. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'll bet they are. So if you want to go see, if you're going to go see Missy sitting on the heated bench and not playing the game, great opportunity to do that. All right. So, hey, speaking,
one thing, and I don't want to get off track, but real quick, I forgot to say this last time. I think if anybody can produce a ticket, we need to figure out something to do for somebody. If we could find somebody with a ticket who's actually bet on one of these major arena soccer league games, who's found a book that actually has placed a bet of more than $10. I would love to see it.
$100 in free play. $100 in free play. I'm making that executive decision right now. Anybody that can produce an MASL betting ticket for $10 or more, you will receive $100 in free play from us. So
add us on the X page.
What's that?
Add us on the X page. What is it? Hit the pick?
Yep.
Or what's the hit the pick wins.
Hit the pick wins. That's right.
Yeah. The problem is they have to live in one of 4 states because it's only legal in 4 states. So that's, obstacle number 1, right?
Are we stipulating legal U.S. bets?
Well, here's I don't know because
I don't think it matters. Bet on it. I haven't even been able to find it on the illegal.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on. I haven't seen it offshore. I haven't seen it at DK. And you know what's funny? I actually had a meeting today with the Next Bets guy. Loud and I had a meeting with him about a month ago. I had another meeting with him today, just about some other stuff we're working on. Because Next Bets generates the line. Their AI, model actually generates the MASL lines. They generate the Power Slap League. Power Slap. They actually come up with the lines for Power Slap. They come up with like surfing lines, like all these extracurricular sports.
But I think I want to see slap surfing. That's the sport I would do. You guys just surfing into one, they just start slapping each other and who can knock each other off the board. But anyway,
regarding the MASL lines, though, like I said, it's only 4 states, and I think one of them is Maine. So it's really only 3 states.
It's only 4 states. Total population 650,000 of the 4 states. So So that's the offer. If you, I'll tell you what. How about if you won, we'll give you $100. If you lost, we'll give you 50. I don't know. Maybe the other way around. I don't care. We're not going to get any tickets. Nobody's going to show us. When you, it's like the Fermi paradox, man. When you're talking like all the people that bet and then all the people that watch this show. It has to come together. I just don't see it happening. But we're putting our virtual money where our virtual mouths are. So there you go. All right. So apparently, according to everyone else in the room, pitchers and catchers have already reported. So that's something. Let's talk AL East, since that's where our world champions came from last year. If I'm not mistaken, right? Did the Yankees win that?
That'd be the AL champions.
Yeah. The AL champions. Sorry, yes, I misspoke. Not the World Series, but yeah, the Yankees were beaten by who was it, Wes? I can't remember.
Oh, I think it was my Dodgers as they play out here.
There you go. Good to be a mid-market team. Jesus. Let's write another check. Anyway, Tom, I'm assuming you're a Phillies fan.
Oh yeah, I'm a Phillies fan.
Okay, well, we're not talking about them. So
yeah.
You got thoughts on the AL East, my friend? Who do you like? It's well, and I give you the odds as we're looking at them. I got them on FanDuel here. Yankees even money plus 100, Baltimore plus 250, Sox plus 440, Rays plus 950, and Toronto Blue Jays plus 1300. So you taking a little spin on the Jays there, my friend?
I'm not touching the Jays. I think the Jays could have potential, but I don't know. But there's a team in this division I love. There's a team in this division I dislike. I think the Yankees are the best team in this division again. I understand the Red Sox, they beefed up their starting rotation, beefed up their lineup. Yankees did as well. They got Max Fried, starting pitcher. They got a couple veterans in Bellinger and Goldschmidt. I think that helps the lineup. It should help the younger guys. Their total is 91.5. I actually like them. I think the better price is to take them to win the division. I don't know to any other team. I think the Orioles are second on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
Orioles plus 250.
Yeah, I don't know how good their starting pitching is going to be. We're behind Eflin, and Charlie Morton is who they signed. Eflin's pretty much a younger Charlie Morton.
They lost their ace in Mr. Burns.
Yeah, they let him go. So I don't know how good their starting pitching is going to be. But they have a lot of guys in the minor leagues that I guess we're going to see come up in this season. That's
what they say. Well, I'm with you on the Orioles. I wonder where the pitching is going to come from. I think a lot of these young guys can certainly hit the baseball. We saw Gunnar Henderson have a fantastic season last year, and great things are expected of him. But I just don't know. Number one, I don't know how much faith to put in guys that have never played in the major leagues before. And number two, I just don't know how much faith to put in that pitching. So we'll see.
Corbin Burns went to the Diamondbacks too.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. All right. So you like the Yankees? Who do you hate?
So that's the Tampa Bay Rays. They've been built last few years on starting pitching. I actually think they have the pieces. I just don't think they can stay healthy. Their season total wins is set at 81.5. I think they go under that. I actually think this is going to be one of the worst teams in the league, the Rays.
Okay. Yeah, I worry. Again, it's another team that I worry about their pitching. They've got Shane McClanahan back, so that's something. But we'll see how long he can stay healthy. But I'm not impressed with the rest of that rotation, and they've definitely got some holes offensively. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. And they've still got they got the stadium issue hanging over their head. They're going to play their games in George Steinbrenner.
I think they're actually playing in the Yankees facility. I read that today.
Yeah, George Steinbrenner Stadium is where they're playing.
Yeah, well, them and also your Sacramento A's as well.
Yeah, it should be fun. It should be I'm sure the A's still won't be able to sell that out, but
probably not.
Probably seats like 6,000 or something. I wish sellout. Ooh, dare to dream. But yeah, that's so they're going to be playing down there in Florida. They're going to be playing outside in Florida, which is always a blast. So enjoy that for sure. Wes, what do you like? Who do you like in the AL East?
Well, I would be remiss to say, but I mean, look at this gorgeous background that Scott the Steamroller Steen has. He's got every single Kansas City Royal logo I think that's ever been invented behind him there.
Yeah, I put it up the day after the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. We're moving on. We're moving on, boys.
Yeah, I saw a hype video that the Royals released on their Twitter with Bobby Witt, and obviously they got Jonathan India, and I know that Brady Singer is now in the Reds, but the Royals they're making some moves. A lot of young talent there.
Still don't have any corner outfielders, man. Still don't have any corner outfielders. Just absolutely brutal outfield. But anyway, I digress. We'll talk about them soon.
So I have a couple thoughts about this division. I was mainly just looking at the over under win total. So the Red Sox are sitting at 86.5 wins. I do like the over there. Obviously, Alex Bregman is now a Boston Red Sox. I guess you call it a sock. It doesn't have an X at the end of it.
No, he's a Sox. I think it's a singular plural. I'm not sure.
Hey, I'm not sure either. But
go to Boston. I'm sure they'd help you out.
Yeah, I'm sure them in those circular streets. But it's funny with the Rafael Devers situation because he doesn't want to give up third base, right? They kind of didn't think about that before they got Bregman. All of a sudden, now there's some kind of controversy in the infield. They're talking about moving Bregman to second base or whatever. But
Well, I'm sure they considered the fact that the Devers is a terrible third baseman, so that apparently that played into their decision as well. But they forgot to tell him that he's a terrible third baseman.
Yeah. Apparently, he doesn't know that.
So, well, he should read some analytic sites because there's a lot of information out there on how bad he is. He's like
Bregman is not a terrible third baseman. So.
Bregman is not a terrible third baseman. He is not bottom 3 in the major leagues like Rafael Devers is. So, yeah, I don't know. It was like did you see the statement about in Phoenix? Who's the guy that won't play? His agent just came out with a statement. He said, "I can't believe that this team is trying to force him to play. What right do
they
have?"
The NBA?
Yeah.
Bradley Beal?
Yeah, no, not Beal. It was somebody else. But it's like, what right do they have to ask him to play? Well, maybe it's the contract that he signed that they're thinking of, where he's going to play basketball for us. Maybe that's the reason they were thinking. I'm like, my God, what the hell's wrong with people? All right, old man yells at clouds. I'm back now. All right, so you like the over total there?
Yeah, I do. So here's the deal. So with the Red Sox rotation, and Tom kind of touched on this a little bit. So they actually could have a 6-man rotation, which is not very common in Major League Baseball, right? But you got 6 pretty decent starters. You got Crochet, Bueller, who came over from my Dodgers, Lucas Giolito, Brian Bello, and Cutter Crawford, and actually Tanner Houck too. So it's actually 6 guys that are pretty decent pitchers. Some of them are really good pitchers. Crochet is fantastic. Kenley Jansen, he was their closer last year, but he's kind of a little bit over the hill. He went to the Angels. Aroldis Chapman is now on the roster. I don't know if his best days are probably behind him as well. But they do have some young talent in that bullpen. And I think with a possible 6-man rotation, all that's going to do is help the bullpen, right? It's going to give the bullpen a little bit more depth. And, you could bring in Bregman, and I think they could swing the bats a little bit. So I'll take the Red Sox over 86.5 wins. That's what I saw on DraftKings earlier. Regarding the Toronto Blue Jays, my thoughts here are they're going to be sellers. They didn't sign Vlad, right? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. They had a chance to do that yesterday. He said, if you guys want to do a deal, let's do the deal. Or he gave them 48 hours, whatever it was. And they did not step up to the plate. No pun intended. So more than likely, they probably move him by the trade deadline. And honestly, if they're going to move him, they might as well move Bichette. They might as well move everybody and just plan for the future if that's really what they're going to do. It kind of just sounds like they're going to blow the whole thing up. George Springer, he is still on this roster, but he's going to be moving to left field, I read earlier. I'm not that high on the Jays. I'm going to go under 78.5 wins for the Toronto Blue Jays and over 86.5 for the Boston Red Sox.
All right. Now, the Jays do have a possibility of having a really good pitching staff if everybody regains their form and stays healthy. They've got Gausman, Scherzer, Chris Bass, and Jose Barrios. So, they've got some guys that have been able to pitch in the past. Now, whether they can still do it, I don't know. Max Scherzer's like 60 now. I don't know if he's going to be able to recapture that glory. But yeah, it would suck because they've got some pieces. But I'm with you. If they get rid of Guerrero, if they can't sign Guerrero, you might as well blow it up because that's a huge hole there, man. What are they going to try to get with? They're going to try to get it done with Joey Loperfido there. I don't know. I don't know what that would happen.
Blue Jays rotation reminds me of the Cardinals rotation last year. A lot of old guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of long teeth there in that rotation for sure. Mr. Delano, how you see the East?
All right, so a couple things. I don't want to talk about the Yankees too much, but looking at a team to win this division, Tom touched on them. I think he did a great job of touching on them. Looking at which book, shop your lines. I looked at all of these lines on DraftKings. I know you said you saw them plus 100. I saw them plus 110. Okay. They're the way that this division is. You can see a team end up second. They can almost just as easily end up fourth. I think that the Yankees obviously are the most likely to not completely fall off. So I think that getting even money or a little bit of plus money on the Yankees for the reason he said, they're the team there. I don't have a play on the Rays, but I don't want to go against the under just because this is just an organization that every year no matter what they look like on paper, they always find a way to be good or respectable. But what I will touch on here, the Blue Jays, I actually got different thoughts on the Blue Jays. Now, if they do trade Vlad and if they're sellers, that could definitely change things. But looking at this win total of 78.5, I actually like the Blue Jays to go over that win total. Last year they had a terrible, terrible season, and they still won 74 games. They did pick up Anthony Santander for the Orioles. He had 44 home runs and drove in over 100 runs last year. You guys mentioned the pitching staff. I know they've got a lot of veterans, but they were solid last year with Gausman, Berrios, Bassett, Bowden Francis did a nice job. And I know you mentioned Max Scherzer, but when you're looking at adding Scherzer, expecting him to be the 4th or 5th starter, that's not a bad option there. There's definitely some upside. I think that this is a good buy low spot in what I think is going to be a competitive division. So I actually like the Blue Jays over the 78.5. And the Orioles, this number looks a little bit low, but I'm going to take a shot and actually go with the Orioles under 87.5 wins. They've been a team over the last couple of years. They've been a team that I've loved because they've been such a good team to back as a sports bettor. But you mentioned you're dependent on a lot of younger players. Even like with Gunnar Henderson, a lot of guys who had some good seasons. But the way baseball is, just because a guy, hits 37 home runs and hits 281 a season, is he going to do it again? And I think that for the Orioles, they have a lot of potential, a lot of exciting young players that if you're going with the over win total, you're really expecting best case scenario. You're not expecting any regression or anyone to underachieve. And you guys already mentioned they lost Corbin Burns. They don't really have an ace on their pitching staff. And I think just because this division overall is so competitive, I don't think anybody is terrible. I like the under 87.5 wins for the Orioles, over 78.5 wins for the Blue Jays, and the Yankees to win the division.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to get on too much. I didn't bet on it, but I thought Wes made some good points with the Red Sox. That 86.5 number, kind of right where it should be. I know before they signed Bregman, it was about 84.5, so I don't know if I want to get involved. But the things that Wes was saying about the Red Sox, they are definitely a sneaky sleeper there. So I agree with his thoughts on that.
Well, and the problem with taking over totals in the AL East is, like you guys said, everybody's pretty damn good. There aren't any Oakland A's in that division at all. It's kind of the same thing with the AL Central, but down a degree of skill. But it's still 4 teams or 5 teams that are pretty darn close in their abilities, and they could just beat up on each other. That's the problem that I worry about with taking a win total in the AL East. I think you guys have all made some great points. I just don't see how the Yankees don't repeat. I know there's some good competition there, but all those teams have question marks. The Yankees, other than the fact they lost Soto, they really have, I think, probably improved their team, bringing in Bellinger, Goldschmidt, and Devin Williams, and just losing Soto. I think that's a solid trade-off if you have to do it. So, and bringing in Max Fried. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, one thing I'll say, Wes made a great point about as far as if the Blue Jays sell. One of the things that makes, I think, the Yankees the safest pick is, out of all of these teams, the Yankees they ain't selling at any point this season.
No, they're never selling.
Not only that, they might go after Vlad.
Yeah.
Lord, man, that would just be absolutely monstrous. And just for the record, where Tampa Bay was playing Steinbrenner Stadium, I looked it up. I thought this was the case, and it is. They have the same dimensions as Yankee Stadium. They have the short porch in right and a pretty short porch in left. Both of them less than 320, and then they go out dramatically there as far as left center and right center goes. So
don't the Red Sox do the same thing? Don't they have the Green Monster in their preseason stadium in Florida?
Probably
the same wall and everything. I think it's the same dimensions. They try to get their outfielders ready for how it's going to be in Boston.
To play off that stupid stadium wall like that. Yeah, that's you guys have you guys been to a game in Boston?
I have.
Never have. I'd love to go. I never have.
I
like
yeah, I highly recommend it. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I have been. I was just saying I have been to a game at Fenway. I loved it.
You have to go at least once, man. And it's the flatness of the seats are they're not elevated like we're used to. They got a little bit of elevation, but not as much as a regular stadium. It's unique. That, and if you haven't made the pilgrimage to Wrigley Field and Fenway Park, I highly recommend doing both. Seeing some day baseball especially is a lot of fun. So, anybody else got anything?
Yeah, Max Fried, Cy Young.
Wow.
Price on that was 2,500 or so.
I don't know. That sounds about right.
I
just think he's in good situation. He's the number one or number two behind Garrett Cole. I think that's only going to help him too.
He's going to win a lot of games.
All right, I've got the list here. Is it a bad sign if Max Fried isn't on the list?
He's got to be on the list.
I know he is. I'm just not seeing it. There it is. Oh, that's not a bad guess. Plus 2,000. So I was close. I was in the ballpark. That's not a bad play, Tommy.
You know what? Speaking of the Yankees, I will gladly take, if you're going to give me Goldschmidt and Bellinger instead of Soto and all that money with Soto, I'll take it all year long.
I agree. I think you're getting a 2-for deal there. And where'd Soto end up going?
The Mets.
That's right.
Went across town.
They got the. It is really hard. I don't really want to bet on a rookie of the year because it's so hard to predict in baseball. But Jason Dominguez expected to be the leadoff man for the Yankees. Got some good speed in the minors. You know, he's the rookie of the year favorite right now, like plus 425. So that's another person they're throwing in there that, you know, like you mentioned with Bellinger, Goldsmith, they've got a lot of pieces that can kind of contribute to that loss.
Well, and he's in a great situation too. He's got guys, you know, hitting behind him. He's going to see a lot of good pitches. You know, you're not going to be worried about the rookies so much as you're going to be worried about the rest of the lineup there. So, yeah, I think that's and he's going to get a lot of at bats, a lot of opportunities. So I think there's definitely opportunity there. That's a good call, David.
He's a great good base runner too, and he has power.
Nice, very nice. All right. Any final thoughts on the AL East or anything else?
Well, I do know that Max Scherzer. So he's on the Blue Jays, right? We talked about that.
Yep.
Yeah. So I do know that he still has 2 different colored eyes.
Okay.
He reminds me of it's like the Terminator, watching him every time out there. His eye's not red, but
well, you know he's a Mizzou guy, right?
Really,
Mizzou they've got a lot of guys in the major leagues. It's for no more success than they've had as a baseball program. They've got a ton of guys in the. I don't think they've ever been to the College World Series. They've certainly never been like in my lifetime when I've been paying attention. So yeah, just there's quite a team. They've never been to a playoff game in football, never been to the Final Four, and never been to the College Baseball World Series. That's my Tigers right there, MIZ baby.
They must live in misery.
There you go. Very nice. All right, guys. Well, we have put this one in the books. I guess next week we'll be back to do AL Central. We'll just move across the country, and maybe we should, because we're getting close to 19 March. Yeah, we'll be able to sneak them all in before the start of the season. I just wanted to make sure. But
hey, by the way, I know they've been doing a game like in Australia or something. Is there a super? Well, I remember the Dodgers played in Korea last year. I think it was the Padres.
Let me take
another super
game. They're in Japan, 2 games. It's the Dodgers. I forget who the other team is, but the Dodgers are playing it again.
By the way, in the NFL too, I think the Rams are playing in Australia next year, right?
Chargers are in Brazil too.
Yeah, Dodgers and Cubs. That's playing that series. March 18th, I think, is the first day.
And Dodgers and Cubs play tomorrow, so they start off the spring training games.
You know what else March 18th is?
The day after St. Patrick's Day.
The first
your
day.
Birthday?
It is not. It's one of those is.
Oh no, your birthday's in July. Your birthday's in July.
Creepy that you know that, but yes, that is true.
My birthday's in July, but anyway.
Oh, okay.
July too.
It's the wow. You guys all Cancers?
Yep.
I'm a Leo.
July 7th.
Wow. Man, that was always when I was a smoker. That was always the hardest lighter to find at the concession. At the
The Cancer.
they'd have Libra and all that stuff. You could never find the Cancer lighter. It sucked. No, it's the opening day of March Madness. That's it's the opening day of the actual tournament. That's a Thursday. I think it starts on the 16th. But yeah, it's a no. I'm sorry. Nope, I lied. It's the 18th is the first four in Dayton. So
Okay.
So it is really the opening of the tournament. So
yeah, I remember last year when the Dodgers they played against the Padres in that Korea series. That was literally like the first game. I think they played 2 games, and the first game was when the Shohei and his interpreter and the bookie news dropped with all the betting and stuff. It's like, wow, what a time for that to drop right in the middle of the opener in Korea.
Well, he really came out okay on that, didn't he? His boy got sentenced to what, 5 years?
Yeah.
And he won the MVP. So
I have some inside information on that whole thing. I won't disclose it on YouTube here, but I know, let's just say I know some people in California, some pretty big time people, and I know some things about that whole situation if you guys want to talk offline.
Wow. I'd be curious. Yeah, well, we should definitely talk offline.
You never know. I might be getting a call from the FBI after this podcast. So.
Keep the lawsuits way down to a minimum. That's fantastic. So I'm going to guess your information is Shohei may not be quite as clean as he said he was. But that I'm not going to speculate, and I'm not going to put Wes in the position where he has to confirm or deny. So I'll be looking forward to right after the show finding out the tea, as the kids say. So. All right. Hey,
I'm sure that the law got everything correctly, and Wes will just be confirming that for us.
Well, I'm sure nobody's happier about the FBI going away than Shohei. I'll just say that. So Shohei, big Trump guy. All right, gentlemen, we've had a blast as always. We miss Loud. I don't know what he's telling the cops. I would love to sit on a Loud training session.
Yeah.
Just to see what he somehow strings it over like 3 days. Golly. That's got to be a cash cow. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Good for him. Good work if you can get it. The man's a hustler. He's got his goats. He's got his food. He's always sharing whatever he made for dinner with us.
Yeah.
I never show like my Stouffer's heat up meal that I had for dinner. I just feel like I'd be rubbing salt in the wound. So, yeah, there you go. You guys can find us all over there at hitthepick.com. I guess everything good now. We're all set. Everything we can actually.
Yeah, no, we can take payment. We're 1,000% live. And to be honest with you, like I think our next conversation, which we have weekly, should be. I don't know how much longer we want to keep the $100 promotion around for because people are capitalizing on it. But
good. Know. All right, there you go. So we can officially call the $100 in free play a limited time offer.
Yeah.
So make sure we've been live here for a couple months now. So make sure you get over there and take advantage of that if you haven't already. Nice part about having 5 of us, somebody's always hot. It's whatever sport you're looking for. So make sure you check the leaderboards there as well. Tom, what are you hot at right now? What should they go over there and buy?
Well, nothing, because I was hot in the NBA, and I mean, I'm hoping to get hot in the NBA again. I did well before All-Star break. I'm trying to keep it up. NHL, I've been doing well. College basketball.
Okay, so you just crush everything, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I've been on a nice run for a little bit.
Well, get over there and buy some picks. If you're tired of losing on any of those 3 sports, get over there and get some of Tom's picks, especially when they're free. Wes, what are you hot? What do you want to promote?
NBA's, I'm like 62% in the NBA. I'm actually trying to pull it up right now, but it's not loading as quickly as I want. But yeah, I'm on an insane run in the NBA. It's been probably my best NBA season ever. To be honest with you, I don't even believe my own record. It's that good. So, I mean, yeah,
I'm convinced I'm bullshitting myself. Very nice.
Wes, what's been working for you in the NBA? Because I feel like this has been a crazy year. What's been working for you?
I mean, to be honest with you, maybe I'm just getting lucky with all the injuries and stuff because I know it's really tough with, last minute news, a guy sitting out and stuff, but it's really just my models. It's teams off. I look for teams off losses. I look for teams that have a big game on deck and you fade them in the spot. teams with revenge, teams with bounce backs, just my main model. And I've just been kind of lucky. Maybe I'm just selecting the right games, and I don't know what it's been. It's just been one of those years where everything went my way.
Have you been taking mostly dogs or favorites or just a little bit of everything?
Yeah, the
A
market.
little bit of everything. I will say totals. I've been trying to stay away from totals. I love totals. I love betting totals. And the public loves betting overs, right? That's just what the public does. But the problem with totals, and you guys can attest to this, you kind of have to be right twice. With a side, you just have to be right once.
Yeah.
With the total, it's either both teams aren't going to score a lot or both teams are going to score. So I feel like, why handicap something where you have to be right twice instead of once? That's kind of been my MO with not only NBA, but a lot of stuff. I kind of been steering away from totals in general lately.
That's an interesting thought. I hadn't really thought of it that way. If you get two that are going one way, you're fine. You get two that are going the other way, you're fine. If they split, you either got a loss or a sweat on your hands.
Yeah,
one way or the other. So
interesting, because I've been doing better with some of the NBA totals, but been doing better with the college basketball side. So,
yeah, and I'm on a bit of a college basketball run as well. So that's the one I try to stay away from. NBA at least until we get deeper in the season. I'll start plugging in some NBA now, but it is just the injury situation just gets me upset when you make a cap on something and it's at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Like, oh, by the way, 3 guys aren't playing tonight. Like, okay, well that would have been good to know, yesterday when I put out my video.
You almost have to follow it and figure it out before you know what I mean. Like I know when the last game I had before the All-Star break, I took the Warriors against the Rockets, and it was like 6.5, and it was looking like Steph was going to play and Jimmy was going, and just kind of just took that chance before it went to 1.5. Not that it mattered, but sometimes you got to make that educated guess and just hope that you're right. Because once it's announced, it's, all the value is pretty much gone.
Right. And, you see, LeBron, the back of his jersey actually says James -Q for questionable. So, it's just baked in every game.
Every game, right?
Yeah, LeBron's questionable. It's like, well, is LeBron going to feel like playing? Nah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so that is the challenge that I have with the NBA. But yeah, it'll be. And the thing about later in the season, like from now on out, you're gonna have less of that shit going on. You're gonna have less games being played as every game gets to be more important for either making the playoffs or seeding, whatever. I think we'll start to see less of that, less shenanigans, if you will. So, all right, it's gonna be a fun time. This is usually the most profitable time of the year for me, from about the middle of college basketball conference season on. I love finishing up the conference season. I love the conference tournaments, and of course, the big dance, which is actually more of a crapshoot. I like conference play. But some of those big dance games, I've had years where I've done well. I've had years where I've not done well. But you're throwing a little bit more of a dart as you see some of those weird matchup teams that it's hard to gauge what the stats actually mean when somebody plays in the Big South versus somebody that plays in the Big East. You don't know how much weight to put with those stats. So, but it's always a lot of fun. And this is definitely one of the most fun times of the year. We're about to see a lot of basketball on all the time. So that'll be great. All right. Guys, have a great week. Thanks very much to everybody out there who has joined us, especially you folks that have joined us live. And don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hate being like every other guy on YouTube. But yeah, it really helps us out, not just monetarily, but it helps us know that you guys are out there. And if you have any questions about what you want to see us cover, anything that you have questions about, I'm sure one of us would be happy to weigh in with our opinion. So once again, getthepick.com, $100 free stuff. Going away soon. So make sure you get over there and grab your $100 before all the college basketball really gets going here as far as the end of the conference season. All right. For myself, Scott Steamroller Steen, for Tom Macrina, for Sniper West, and for David Delano, we are the Hit the Pick founders, if you will. And we've enjoyed being here today doing this show. And as far as I know, we'll be back next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. And that, once again, is 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. The rest of you figure it out. You know how to do it. All right, you guys have a terrific week, and let's go beat the bookies. Let's just go beat the hell out of the bookies and leave them bloodied and bent and screaming for mercy. I think that sounds like a fine week. All right, you guys take care. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.